Hi y'all, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today guys we are gonna do, I guess you would call this a bit of a hybrid video. I am gonna talk about new releases, which I haven't done in ages, and we're gonna get into why, and also just give you my thoughts on how I'm feeling about makeup in general at the moment. Let's get into it. Okay, so first up, because I know I'm gonna forget if I don't mention it now, I have a giveaway currently going on my channel. I will leave the link to the Google Doc down below along with all of the giveaway details. It ends on the 21st, which is Friday of this week. So if you are interested, I am giving away 2 packages to 2 winners. I'm here in the US, so go to the description box, click on the link, follow all of the instructions. Like I said, I'm going to pick 2 winners. I am going to pick them the day after the giveaway closes, and I will reach out to both winners. I am giving everyone 2 to 3 days to respond. After that, I will pick another winner because I don't want to wait too long to get the packages shipped out. The giveaway is US only at the moment, just because shipping pricing is ridiculous right now. I may and probably will eventually do an international giveaway, but this giveaway right now is US only. So yeah, want to get that out of the way because I know I was going to forget. Now, on to the subject at hand. Makeup. I don't know about you guys. I go through phases with makeup. I've always gone through phases with makeup where I'm really into it and I'm all about it. And then other times I'm like, it's a part of my daily life, but it's not something that I'm like obsessed with. And I think I'm in a point of sort of like the not obsessed with part. But also I think I'm just experiencing a little bit of makeup and consumption burnout. Not just makeup, but just consuming things in general. I feel like I'm reaching this point of, and I always strive to be a conscious consumer. I am someone who loves to shop. I love new sparkly shiny things. I love aesthetically pleasing things. They bring joy to my heart. I am bougie. I love luxury makeup, you know, those things, and those things still do speak to me in a certain way. But I'm finding at this current moment in my life, but also this current moment in time and where we are in the world, I'm just finding myself having a hard time spending money on things that I don't really need, if that makes sense. And so what's wound up happening is that I've turned a very critical eye to the things that I spend a lot of money on. And for me, that has always been one of the things that's the larger, you know, sort of non-necessity things that I spend money on is makeup. Now, again, like I said, I'm not at a place of like disliking makeup and no longer wanting to buy makeup. There are things that I see and I go, oh, possibly, but there's nothing that's really come out truly that has made my heart like, oh, I must have it. And I think it's also indicative of not only my feeling of wanting to consume less and to purchase less at this moment, but also because I feel like, and let me know in the comments if you feel this way as well, I feel like makeup has gotten boring. I feel like makeup is in its boring era. And I don't know, you know, and when I say that, I'm not speaking about necessarily indie makeup. I think indie makeup is still doing really interesting things. What I'm speaking of is the sort of mainstream large brands, and even some brands that aren't necessarily large, but the brands that you can find in Sephora. I feel like everyone's doing the exact same thing, just various iterations of it, but it's all the same and it's all basic and boring. And when I say basic, I don't mean basic like, listen, look at my makeup today. This is what I'm probably looking a little worse for wear. I tried to zhuzh it up a little bit. This is after a 9-hour workday. This is basically how I look every day. This is what my makeup looks like. And today I'm actually wearing a little eyeshadow, I'm wearing a little Phytosurgeon's Ancient Acres on my lids today. I just threw some on. But sometimes I don't even wear eyeshadow. I'm only wearing mascara on my top lashes because it's winter and my eyes tend to water when it's really cold out. So I've not been putting mascara on my bottom lashes because I just don't want to like cry it all off. But so when I say basic, I don't mean basic like, oh, if things aren't, you know, peacock blue, then they're boring. No. I don't mean that. I'm a neutral girly. I love neutral makeup. What I mean is non-exciting, non-innovative, not giving much. And when you have a market as large as makeup, and you have so many people who purchase a lot of makeup, there comes a point, at least in my makeup journey, and I let me know how you guys feel about this, but if you're someone who's been in the makeup game, whether that be as a consumer, as a content creator, and I was a consumer of makeup and a beauty enthusiast, makeup enthusiast, long before I started my channel. You know, I've always loved makeup. I was more of a lipstick girly, and I got into like actual makeup, like foundation and eyeshadow and all those things in like 2020, I want to say maybe 2012, 2013. So we're talking about a little over a decade of being a beauty consumer. I didn't start my channel until I think 2020. I think I started my channel in October of 2021, I think. So that's a long time to have been consuming makeup and collecting makeup before ever getting into this, where I'm sitting in front of a camera talking about makeup. And actually, the irony is that I consumed way more makeup and purchased way more makeup before I started my channel as opposed to after. And there's various reasons for that. I think one of them was that I just sort of hit that limit that you hit when you purchase a ton of makeup, where it's like, I don't need any more, and I've tried everything, and what am I gonna do with all this makeup? And so I've slowly decluttered my collection, and which is hard to do when you are also a YouTuber who makes content around beauty, because there is a part of this, there's an aspect to this gig, and this isn't my full-time job. I don't make a lot of money off of this. I make very little money off of doing this. So I have my real job, but when I'm doing this, you know, there is a part of it where you do have to purchase things, you know, and things for review, and I don't mind doing that. And I tend to be one of those people who loves to like hyper focus on a specific product type. I did my rosy bronzer breakdown, and I love that kind of content. I love doing that kind of content, and just based off of the response that I've gotten from you guys, you like that kind of content, so I don't have a problem with that. But my collection, my like actual personal makeup collection, has gotten smaller over time. It's still really large, but it's gotten smaller over time, and I'm bringing less into it overall. So for me, that's kind of where my headspace has been at for the past good while, and I'm feeling that more now, just with the way the world is. There's a part of me that feels very like I kind of reject this idea of over consuming and spending all my money on makeup. You know, it doesn't hit the way that used to hit. It used to be a time where if I felt really bad, I would go and buy myself a lipstick, or, order some new makeup, and everything would feel better. I don't have that anymore, and I don't use makeup in that way anymore. So for me, that in and of itself has sort of slowed things down a bit for me. Also, I didn't announce it because I don't generally announce these things. I don't like to announce these things because I always feel like it sets me up for failure. But I feel safe now saying that I'm filming this on February 17th. Okay. So a day before it goes up, and I have not purchased anything new in the month of February. My goal was to just do a low-key no-buy for the month of February. I picked the shortest month of the year to try it and see how I feel. I gave myself license that if I ran out of things, I can repurchase them. Like if I ran out of like moisturizer, shampoo, things like that. I have run out of things. I've run out of one of my shampoos. I use a couple of different shampoos. I ran out of my shampoo. I ran out of one of my main brow products. Yeah, and and I'm about to run out of cleansing balm, which I probably will have to replace because I need to wash my makeup off. But I haven't purchased anything, and I've actually been kind of loath to do so. I've just kind of been like, nah, I can let it ride. Why? Because as someone who owns a lot of makeup, I have other brow products I can use, and I have other shampoos that I can use that work well. The shampoo that I ran out of was my Olaplex that I use, so I kind of need to replace that because I use it for a specific thing. But I also have my Redken shampoo that I use all the time that works just as well, and I can use that, and I can use that to, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm not in a place of like I'm absolutely out of it and I have to repurchase it. So for me, I'm in a place of like feeling very stubborn and very like, no, I don't want to purchase a new one. That's where I'm at. And I'm kind of just holding in that pattern for now. We'll see what March brings. I'm not holding myself to a no buy in March. I will kind of maybe do a low buy. I did panic buy one thing at the very end of January to review on my channel, and I haven't filmed a video for it because when I purchased it, it was like oh, let me hurry and get this in case I want to review it. And then I got it and I looked at it and I went, why didn't I buy this? So I will tell you what I purchased, and then we'll get into the makeup, you know, the makeup that I'm giving as my example of why I feel like I'm a bit bored with makeup and kind of burnt out on makeup at the moment. So the thing that I purchased was this. Why did I purchase this? Because I was like, oh, this will be a fun video to film. Yes, it will. It would be a fun video to film. Do I feel like filming it? Not really. The instructions, if I wanted to do it the way I wanted to do it, it would take me like a good few hours to film that video. Also, I was like, do people really want to see this? If you guys want to see me film with this and do something with it, I'll do it eventually. I will. I'll get around to doing it. But when I opened up the package, and this was the first thing I purchased from Pat McGrath in ages, like ages. And I used to be a Pat McGrath stan. Like, I own all of the motherships. I used to own pretty much a product from every category. I did a video, which if I can find I can find it. I'll put the link either in the description box or in the card, where I rank every product in her range. And I owned something where I could do that. I owned most of her lippies. Like, I was that girl. I am no longer that girl, and it had been almost a year, I think maybe 9 months since I had purchased something from, well, no, that's not true. I had purchased a lip crayon, one of the lip crayons, but I had purchased it from Ulta. So I take that back. I had purchased something, but I hadn't really been checking. Like, the reason why I purchased it from Ulta was I was looking for lip products to try to review for you guys, and I happened upon that, and I didn't even remember those being released. That's how much I was not checking for Pat McGrath at that moment in time. So when she came out with this glass skin mask, I was like, yes, because that was a seminal moment with, you know, the Maison Margiela, you know, runway show. Like, yes, give me something interesting, please. So I kind of wanted to try it. I was just curious. And so if you guys want to see a video about that, let me know. But that was like the one thing that I panic purchased at the very end of January to review. And it's just sort of sitting over there kind of mocking me. It's mocking me. So let's talk about the makeup, new makeup that has been released that has really sort of been confirming for me my desire to keep my wallet closed. So I guess you could call this an anti-haul. I don't know. So first up, we have the new Tower 28 Get Set Blur Matte Powder Blush. These are the colors. Cool. Now, when these first were shown, I was like, these look like something else that I've seen before. What is it? Where have I seen these before? And then I went on Trend Mood, and I was like, where have I seen these before? Where have I seen these before? And then I was like, oh, is it they look kind of like the Rare Beauty blushes. Oh, they kind of look like the Lawless blushes. Like, now, before anyone comes for me in my comments, it's like, but the Rare Beauty are like those powdery putty. I know. The formula is different. The colors are giving me nothing. I'm sorry. They're giving me nothing. All of these blushes look the same to me. All of these blushes are a snooze fest to me. And I think at this point, how many basic toned matte powder blushes do we need? I don't need any. So seeing all of this, I'm like, this is what we're doing now. Okay, cool. Then we had this release from Charlotte Tilbury. And when I saw this, I was two things. These look like expansions. The color stories look like expansions of the quads that she came out with some years ago. And I used to have one of them. It was the Super Blues, and I decluttered it, I think, last year because I hadn't touched it in ages. And it was the little quads. There was Super Blue. There was, I forget what the other one was called. There's a green one. There was like a neutral tone one. And then there was like a pinky one. And now she's coming out with these like expanded shades. So these come with 9 shades in them instead of the 4. So she's added some shades, but they're basically the same. My issue with these is the packaging. Charlotte Tilbury is a luxury brand. First off, we're going to talk about the repackaging of old things in a mo. But this is a luxury brand that charges luxury prices, that is giving me packaging that looks like something I could get from Walgreens, like a drugstore palette. I am not going to spend Char money for a drugstore package. I'm just not. That's insanity to me. If you're going to make me pay that money, I want a pretty package. It's just as simple as that. Secondly, I know that Charlotte is the queen of like regurgitation as far as like pillow talk. You know, we all know pillow talk to the nth degree, to infinity and beyond. But for me, this feels like her taking those quads and going, how would ColourPop release these? You know, that's what this feels like to me. It doesn't feel interesting, original. It feels lazy. It feels kind of a cash grab, because I feel like if you weren't in the makeup game those years ago when she first released those, you'll look at these and be excited and be like, oh my God, these are new. They're not new. They're not. This is just her taking that idea and expanding on it and adding some extra shades. That's it. So yeah. Also, let's talk about a little bit about this whole thing of like lip pencils, lip contour, and these, you know, Rhode has come out with these lip peptide contouring pencils. You know, Lisa Eldridge did it. A couple of other brands have done it. And I'm not even against that as an idea. But I feel like if you are a makeup person, makeup enthusiast, you have, I would hope, you know, and if you haven't, and I wish you well on this journey, but I would think at this point you would have found like a neutral tone lip pencil that works for you, that works for, you know, filling out your lips, lining your lips. Like today I'm wearing a MAC Lippy and I paired it with a darker, a slightly darker lip pencil from Moira Cosmetics. I am drowning in brown and nude and neutral tone lip pencils. I need another brown and nude neutral lip pencil like I need a hole in the head. So when I see these, I actually do get excited because I love those tones and they're so useful and usable. But also, I don't need them. I don't need them. So even the things that are coming out where I feel like, in theory, they're really smart, they're also still pretty standard and pretty boring, and it's really just kind of marketing, you know? Like, it's really just like coming out with browns. Like, you know, it's like browns, how revolutionary. But then you have someone like MAC doing it, and I just did a video where I swatched some of the MAC lippies, and I was just so excited when those came out. And so, you know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just the way my brain is working right now, where I'm fine with some things that are really basic and boring and not with others. I just kind of am like questioning the thought process behind releases at this point, because I feel like what I'm realizing and coming to understand is that a lot of brands are simply running out of ideas. And we know, makeup is just as trendy as fashion. Makeup goes where the trends go. And I know that that's why we see a lot of brands, they just everyone's releasing the same thing, their own version of the same thing. But at some point as consumers, we kind of have to put the brakes on and not get overly excited about new because it's new. Because honestly, again, the blush thing was driving me insane. I'm going to put up more photos of more brands. I'm going to put up, maybe I'll do it while I was talking about the blushes earlier, but I want to put in some photos of even more brands who have come out with matte blushes that are all in the same shades, same tones, that are snooze fest. Like they're giving nothing. They're giving nothing, And I'm a blush lover. So if you're going to give me a blush, it better be good, because I own a lot of blush. I love blush, and I'm very picky about blush at this point because I own a lot of blush. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with makeup right now. This is a very sort of like loose anti-haul, new release type of video. There are things, guys, that I am excited about, and I do even still have a makeup wish list. If you would like me to, film a video talking about my makeup wish list, I am more than happy to do so, because there are things that I want, and a lot of it is more like indie makeup. There's a couple of things that I tried. I went to Sephora recently, not on purpose. I tried to avoid the actual physical Sephora, as much as possible. It's a hellscape, in my opinion. I prefer to shop online. But I took the opportunity so that I could really swatch some things in person and really get an idea for them. And there are some things that I was actually quite surprised by, things that I thought I was really interested in that I'm no longer interested in, and also things that I was kind of meh about that I'm like, ooh, maybe. So yeah, if you want me to sit down and talk about what makeup that is actually on my wish list that I would be excited to purchase, let me know. But as far as new releases, I can maybe count on one hand new releases that I'm interested in. So, and I'll tell you them now. So for one, I'm really interested in the new Milk Makeup Skin Tint. There's been some rumblings about the shade range. I don't disagree with it, but I also don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. So I'm interested in that. I think the issue with skin tints is that I think brands are going to have to realize, now that skin tint is such a mainstream thing, I think they used to be able to get away with, oh, we've got 4 shades, 5 shades. It's like, nah, you're going to have to come out with more than that. So in that sense, I agree when it comes to Milk Makeup, but I'm also still really interested because I think Milk Makeup makes solid products. So I'm really interested in the new skin tint from them that's coming out. I'm interested in the new NYX Buttermelt highlighters that are coming out. I love the NYX Buttermelt bronzer. Love it. When I talked about it in my rosy bronzer video, I also mentioned it in my best of 2024. It was on my best list. I love that bronzer. The blush, I think, can be a little hard to work with, but I think once you get the hang of it, it's actually a really beautiful formula. So I'm actually quite curious about the highlighter, and I like that they kind of put it in clear packaging, unlike the blush and the bronzer. Although I like the packaging for those, I think they had to make it clear so that you can really see, the tones. But I think this looks beautiful, and this is the only picture that I've seen so far, but there apparently will be more shades. So I'm interested in that. I'm interested in this new skin tint from Makeup Forever, which looks kind of interesting. Now that I've found some skin tints that I like, I'm actually more curious to try them, because before I was kind of like not in that skin tint fam. I wasn't a huge fan. I felt like they had either no coverage or too much coverage, and I found a couple skin tints that I like, which has kind of made me want to try and test more. Really interested in the new Cosmic Beauty Valentine's palette, The Lovers. I think that palette is stunning, but I haven't been purchasing palettes really. I purchased a couple like smaller basic palettes that I've been using here and there, but I haven't been buying eyeshadow because I haven't really been wearing eyeshadow, so I couldn't really justify buying eyeshadow. You know what I mean? But this is something that, like, when I saw it, because Cosmic Beauty is like one of my favorite indie brands, and I think they make probably the best matte formula in indie makeup. Like, for me personally, they are my favorite. This excites me, and I love the fact that the way the palette is oriented is different and interesting, and the packaging is beautiful. The color story is beautiful. This got me excited. So yeah, as you guys can see, there's just not a lot floating my boat right now. And I think it's indicative of two things. I think it's indicative of my relationship, my current relationship with makeup and purchasing makeup, as well as what's being released. I don't find what's being released to be all that exciting. Like you saw what I was interested in, and it was pretty basic, pretty like nothing really that like over the top. There's certain brands that I would like to try more from, like Westman Atelier, and I would love to try Mop Beauty. I haven't tried Mop Beauty yet, so if you guys want to see a review of that, I might, their products are quite expensive, so it might take me some time to amass like, a nice little collection of them, but I would love to try Mop Beauty. There's a couple of other brands I would like to try. So for me, it's not even just like product specific. It's more like brands that I'm interested in trying, not necessarily new releases from said brands, if that makes sense. All right, so I've done enough rambling. This was a long video, but I just kind of had to sit down and get this off of my chest and just kind of say how I'm feeling right now. It's a weird space to be in when you make beauty content, to sort of feel like you're not interested in purchasing beauty at the moment. It's a weird space to be in. And so I'm feeling like I want my content in the next, the coming weeks or so to be more geared towards talking about what I have and inviting you to, do the same, and use what you have and love what you have, and, really sort of digging deep into my own collection for things that before I'm thinking to immediately purchase something else. Again, I love trying new makeup. I will continue to review makeup for you guys, but as you can see, the things that I'm more focused on are like complexion things and things of lipstick. I love buying and trying new lipsticks, and I do pan lipsticks. That's one of the few things that I can get through. Your girl can pan a lip gloss, a lipstick, so for me, even when I purchase lipsticks, even it might take me a while, but I can get through a lipstick. So yeah, so those are the things that I'm like, if I'm going to review, it's going to be around things that I feel are functional for not only you guys for content, but functional for me in my everyday life. Because again, this isn't my job. I have a day job. This is sort of like a side thing. And so I have to be smart about how I spend my money when I'm doing this, because I am spending my own money when I do this. And also because I'm spending my own money, I'm inviting more products into my life. And I don't want to get into this vicious cycle of constantly having to declutter. If you guys have noticed, I haven't posted a declutter on my channel. I usually do one in January or February, and I haven't done one because I don't plan on doing one anytime soon. I might do one in the summer, or maybe not. I might wait till the end of the year. I don't know. I'm sort of playing it by ear. So yeah, so this is sort of like where my headspace is at. I'm also planning on talking about other things on the channel as far as like beauty related things. I love fragrance. I will say that when I haven't been purchasing makeup, I have been purchasing fragrance, but I'm not spending a ton of money on fragrance, but I'm kind of just, if I'm going to spend the money, I want to spend it on the things that are actually exciting me at the moment, as opposed to the things where I'm just kind of like, meh, so you've seen me do fragrance content on the channel. I will continue to do so. It's not going to be like every other video, but it might be once a week or once every 2 weeks. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. What do you think, and how are you feeling about makeup right now? Are you feeling bored by makeup releases? Are you finding this to be a really exciting time? Do you think that I've got it all wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. Be nice though about it, but yes. Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, guys, please be sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.